Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. These games don't look good enough for you? Well, give it time. We are flying through September 1982, and we were last in Japan playing Kingman by Tomy. That's right, we even do handhelds here. Let's see what the next game is. We're going to the United Kingdom to play on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is the L game. The L game? Like the loser game? We'll have to find out. So here is the only bit of artwork we can find. There's a few others as well, but this is from Popular Computing Weekly, September 1982, where they first talk about the L game, and it's really tiny out, as you can barely even see it on the screen, but we have an example of the screenshot too, but that's just about it. This one was released first by Brian Hebbs, and then later by compilations with Quicksilva. Let's pop it and play the L game by Brian Hebbs, later by Quicksilva at the beginning of September 1982. This was also re-released by Contrast Software, and then the compilation that Quicksilva did had the L game, Mastermind, and Pontoon all in the same one. All right, Brian, let's see what you got. The squares are numbered 0 through 9, A through F. So they have a little tutorial in the beginning. I actually enjoy the ZX Spectrum tutorials. They do a really good job introducing how the game runs. The board, or how it's supposed to look. I like the graffiti right here above my head. C loves B, so somebody loves Brian Hebbs. And then showing us where the L's are, there's going to be a green L and a red L, and then ask us what level we want to pick from. We're going to do level 1. Oh, there we get some sound. I was wanting to know where the ZX Spectrum sound was. Do we want the first move? Yes. Yes, we do. And now we enter a new L position. So this game, I'm going to mark down as another one of those proto-Tetris games. The other one we played on the show that's a video game was Quintominos. And this one is the other one that you can obviously see the inspiration. We have a object that is 4 squares in size. This game is meant to be where you're playing one player against a computer, and you have to get your L position to block the other one so they can't put their L down the board. So we got to do a new position here. Let's try putting it in 5, and then 9, and then D, and then C. So you see you go from one position into the end, into where you want your L to go, and now I'm going to pick up my green L, readjust it, put the L down there, and now it's going to ask us where we want, if we want to move any black squares. And I'm going to say yes, I do. And I'm going to go with, yes, I want to move. I'm trying to think of a way to block the other one in. So let's do F to B. So the interface is all on your keyboard, which we would expect on the ZX Spectrum. And now the computer goes. This one you can't play against anyone else. It would have been a nice touch, and it would have worked too. But you can only play against the computer in this version. I'm aware of just a couple more versions of the L game that we're going to see at some point, but it looks like they're moving a black square. Did they just stay in the same spot? But if you can trap or make sure the other red L can't have any moves, then you win the game. And you just keep going back and forth, taking turns. It's an L7 game. That's right. Yes, I don't want to take the L. So you can see where they moved, and then they put the black. Uh-oh, it looks like it's going to be a trickier spot. Okay, so now we do our position, move from one to another. So let's go ahead and go 3, 2, 1, 5. So I'm going to occupy the top space and see if we can block it in so they can't do theirs. And now let's try moving a black square. And I think that's the strategy. I'm not familiar with this game, but it's interesting seeing puzzle games from an earlier time, before the more popular ones that most people know. So from which square, let's move the 0 out, and let's bring it down to, oh, D. I think that'll do it. Oh, he can still fit. That's right. There's one spot he could have fit. I should have done it from 0 to C, and that should have blocked it in. And now it's going to do their move. You wait till they make their move, and you're trying to block it in. So they're going to be able to fit A98C. So there was still a opening. Yeah, there it is, and they took it. Oh, no, or A986. Okay, so my idea wouldn't have worked anyway. So you keep going turn by turn until you block them in, and then you win. That's right. So there's the L game. Curious one. Interesting one. I would still say of all the games you could play on a home computer, it's actually all right for a puzzle game. The problem is it's only a one-player affair. If it was two-player, it would be more enjoyable, especially if you had someone else to play with. But computer opponent, why not? I would say of all the computer games at this point, it's pretty average of things you'd expect. Charlie's even going lower with 2 stars. I would say 3 of everything you could play up to this point. Yeah, that's true. It is slow. But we played plenty of other games that are puzzle-style games where the computer has to think and it takes a little bit longer. Yeah, there we go. 2 stars. 2. Yeah, and the L game, I don't know for sure what it was programmed in, Curtis. So I'll go a little bit lower. Say 2.5 stars of all the games you can be playing right now on a home computer. I don't want to say bad, though. It's pretty cool. All right, after that, let's see what our next title is. We're still in the United Kingdom. Now we're playing on the BBC Micro. Here is Laser Command. Here's the box for Laser Command. Another one by Program Power on the BBC Model B. Not available for the Model A. You got to shovel out more money. Front of the box has us shooting things in sci-fi space. I'm pretty much sure I could describe 80% of all the boxes the front of the boxes with sci-fi themes. There's been that many. And then there's the cassette tape we're going to pop in. Got to load Laser to play with an example of the screenshot, which kind of gave it away, I think. So we have other versions, hacked one, and then an easier trainer version. Let's pop it and play Laser Command. This is by T-Mabs. The beginning of September 1982 by Program Power, or Micro Power, if you will. All right, so this one has lots of different options of what you can select. You can do a 1-player game or a 2-player game, but it's alternate play. I'm going to do a 1-player game, but you can also change up what kind of weapons you can use. I'm going to choose both kinds of weapons. They have dumb bombs, and they also have intelligent bombs in this game. And this is also going to do continuous screen on. And then we're ready. Everyone's set. Here we go. This allows you to do joystick and keyboard, but the thing about the joystick is you only have so much that you can fire off. It's not the same controls as what you'd expect, but if everyone gets the idea, it's missile command. We're playing a command shooter. Very well done. I've already seen some extremely impressive command shooters that you could be playing on home computers. I'm looking at the TRS-80 with Polaris, and then, of course, the very, very well done missile command that was on Atari home computers. I'm choosing not to use joystick. I'm going to use keyboard because the controls, they are a little weird on keyboard, but it allows you to do 2 different weapons, which is why I wanted to show it off. Yeah, we're already losing bases. The controls are very strange. Left and right is W and E, and then up and down is O and P. So look down at your BBC Micro keyboard, and you'll understand where my fingers are going right now. I know, look how fast it is. And when we get to another level, we get different colors. And then if you want to fire off your main missile, it's the clear button on your BBC Micro. Oh, I missed it again. But here is what makes Laser Command really stand out, and that's the intelligent bombs. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, no, we already blew everything up and went the end. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. This time I'm going to show you, you can choose between joysticks or keyboard. We'll stick with keyboard still, keep the same settings, and now let me show you what the intelligent bombs are like. Check this out. I want to do the dots. I'm laying pixels on the screen, and whenever I want to, you can fire off remote mind missile command. This is the very first missile command that allows you to select the bombs and then decide whenever you want to send them off. Really, really cool. Let's go up higher here. And firepower is nuts. If you're trigger happy, then this is also a great game for you. I was holding back a little bit before. Let me go a little nuts on the firepower to show you how you can just continue to shoot a lot, which explains why it would be going so fast right now. Oh, we got a piece of it still. There's the last one. But I mean, look at that. You can just You can go crazy with the shots. It's not giving me a really big indication of how many shots I have, so I'm just going to continue to fire, fire, fire. Blow it all away, and then we get, wow, the red on the screen for the next level. Oh, they got one through, okay. But the firepower is unique on how many shots they give you. We are losing... I actually can't tell from the points. It doesn't look like we're losing points for using shots. But then the remote mines is what really sets this apart from other Missile Command games that we played on the channel. Barely making it now. But it's fast, it's frenetic, really, really well done Missile Command game if you like those kind of games. Yeah, I don't know if it's a limited ammo, but it's letting me continue to fire. Just go, go, go. Will I run out? I don't think so. Yeah. Look at this. I'll just keep firing. Oh, wait. Oh, it ran out. Uh-oh, it ran out. Do I have my other ones? Oh, it may not let me... Okay, so I have my remote mines now. Those are the only ones I have left. Okay, and they came back after the next wave. So they eventually do run out, but they give you a really, really generous firepower. That's pretty cool. Yeah. It is a little tricky to do, yeah, especially whenever it's coming in so fast. But if you like a challenge and you like Missile Command games, Laser Man is awesome. That is very, very well done. At this point, we played 20... This is the 24th command shooter of all the games that we played under the sun. And by command shooter, it means Missile Command-like, but not necessarily exactly like Missile Command. The official Missile Command games we've only seen on the Atari VCS and the Atari home computer. And then this is the 14th Missile Command riff, or exact copy or clone just like Missile Command. And I mentioned before some of the really good ones, but this is great. Of all the games you can be playing on a home computer, this is really, really well done. Yeah, the delayed mines is innovative. I'm with you, Curtis, on that. 3.5 from Charlie. Bartelmane's 3. 3.5 too. Yeah, it's easily above average. I'm actually going to have to go one more. We rated some of the best ones out there at 4.5 and 5, and this one's a good contender too. And bear in mind, I was also playing on keyboard. You have the option to do joystick as well. So I'm going to say 4 stars for Laser Command. It's hitting all the marks of a really good game and an excellent game for a home computer. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is.
Discover Atari.
We're now on the Atari home computer, Atari 400 or Atari 800, and this is Legionnaire. Legionnaire is, man, it's a big game. Here's the box for Legionnaire. The latest by Avalon Hill. Ooh, Avalon Hill, and this is big, big Avalon Hill. I'm talking like major release. And the front of the box is epic, because we're going to go to ancient Rome to play some video games. No way you have this one. Awesome. All right, we flip it over on the back. You can see on the spine it shows this is for cassette or disc. And then, yeah, this one's the disc version. It has a lengthy story because the manual is very large as well. This one is a real-time tactical strategy game. And way down here in the bottom, look how tiny. They have a screenshot of the game, but it doesn't really do it justice. It says you'll need 32K and the 810 disk drive on your Atari home computer to play this one. And we also have other artwork besides the box. Here's the ad you would have seen in magazines at the time. It has, this is the later one, I believe, because it has TAC, Paris in Danger by Avalon Hill, and even has, if you see that close assault with the board that we saw on the show. And then this is the one that you would have seen closer to where we are now in magazines with Andromeda Conquest, Telengard, GFS Sorceress, which I think we've already seen that one too. And then VC we're about to see. It's coming up soon. Moon Patrol, though, I'm not familiar with that one. We might be seeing that one later. There is the 5 1/4 floppy disk. We're going to pop in our Atari to play. Take all those cartridges out. All you need is 32K. Oh, yeah. Now, the manual is really, really long. It's a very, very complex game. One does not simply showcase Legionnaire here on a live show. We're going to do our best. Here's the quick instructions, if you want to call it that. It is a true real-time simulation tactical combat game in the days of Caesar. You are Caesar in command up to 10 legions against an army of barbarian infantry. The game includes cavalry, shock effects, fatigue, morale, and slope effects, and it really delivers on this. There is, if you want to nitpick because we're playing every game, it does have a few bugs and a little balancing issues, but other than that, the presentation for this is really impressive. So you move with the cartridges, pop the game into play. It's suggested you start with only 5 legions. We're actually going to do less, so we don't have to control as many as once. But then later games, you can be really proficient at the game and command a full arm of 10 legions, which means 10 squads of units on the screen. After you select your legions, you decide which tribes you're going to face. There's 16 different barbarian tribes, 8 fighting as infantry, 8 fighting as cavalry. And each one has its own fighting characteristics and has to be fought differently. Yeah, amazing. You choose the tribe in the same way. Use all this with the user interface is fantastic because you do it all with the Atari VCS joystick or the Atari home computer joystick. It's the same one. First, you choose an infantry tribe, then a cavalry one, and they're easy to defeat after you've learned the game system. Sure they are. After you've chosen your 2 opponents, the computer will place the combatants on the map and wait for you to inspect the tactical situation. You won't be able to inspect individual units, but you'll be able to peruse the map. And the map's really cool. It shows you on the map that Romans are going to be played by red, or we are the Romans. Barbarians will all be in blue. Infantry look like a sword. Cavalry will look like a horse head. And Caesar looks like an eagle. That's represented by who we are. When you're satisfied, you push start on your Atari home computer to begin. This is the first Legionnaire that is available. Later, we're going to see Legionnaire on the Apple II and the Commodore 64. If you've turned up the speaker on your television, you'll be able to hear the sound of marching. Thousands of barbarians are tramping through the fields coming after you, and you have no time to waste because this is a real-time strategy game. I can't stress that enough, how bizarre and unique this is. Strength is measured in 2 ways, men and swords. The first count measures the number of unwounded men in the ranks. The second count measures the effective strength of unit in combat, and that's how you fight other units. To give orders, it's very similar to another game we played called Eastern Front 1941. You get to use the joystick, and using the joystick, you move the units where you want to go, and they follow your command. You hold down the red button, and it shows a shadow image, and then when you release the red button, then they execute. And it shows you the animation. And this game has fatigue. It has recovery of units that you need to do. It has movement restrictions because of where you are on the map and how all the units go around. And then it explains how the combat works in the game. Each side suffers losses because you're going to be attacking whenever you go in for an attack. And then the game proceeds until one of 4 conditions occurs. First, victory, defeat, quit, or pause. So it's pretty much quit or defeat. I don't know why they said pause would be a victory. You win by destroying all barbarian units. You lose if you, Caesar, are killed, kind of like the king in chess. Please note that you can lose the game by allowing your legion to be destroyed, even if you possess the overall advantage in forces. You quit by pressing the option key, which I gotta make sure I don't accidentally push the option key. And it says, after all, Caesar was never a quitter and offer you a second chance. You can press start to resume the game with no change and press the option to confirm your decision to quit. So it's one of the first games that before you quit the game, it asks you, are you sure you want to quit? And you're assigned a point score for the battlefield performance. Got to have a high score. It's still in 1982. And this is only 1/4 of the manual. So everything explained the game, and now it's going to break down everything, including Caesar's units, Crassus, all the units you have for Rome, Libanius, Cicero, Galba, Fabius, Rosius, Cotta, Plancus, and then it has all the barbarian infantry, and you get to select these at the beginning. With phonetic spelling, which is kind of nice, the Aedui, the Eburonis, the Suavii, the Senuit, and I'm probably going to mispronounce it even whenever we start the game up, but it has all the tribes because every tribe has a different skill and ways you have to combat them. So cool. And this is also the barbarian cavalry, so all the breakdown of the barbarian cavalry too. And then, of course, that has a historical background for you. Usually legions are made up of 10 cohorts, approximately 480 men each. So cool. So lots of info. The manual is meant to give you the feeling of let's get in the game. Let's go to ancient Rome and play a full-on strategy war game. I mean, as far as strategy war games go, we see that quite a bit on the show. For one that takes place in ancient Rome, though, that's pretty unique. Yes. Yeah, tabletop war gamers are eating this up. I'm eating this up, and I'm not even a true war gamer. It's so cool. So we got an alternate version, but let's go ahead and pop in and play Legionnaire. This is by Microcomputer Games and Chris Crawford, published by Avalon Hill in the beginning of September 1982. Chris Crawford we've seen since 1976 when he did Tactics, and then on the Commodore PET, it was in 1979. Then he later did the Energy Czar game in 1980, and then Tactics was ported to the Apple II next, and then the big one of my favorite ones in 1981 was Eastern Front 1941. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Avalon Hill's 50th video game we've played on the show. 50 games published by Avalon Hill. Oh, and this plays and looks just like Eastern Front. So what I'm going to do is it's going to ask how many legions for you. So I'm going to actually bring this down. This is how many units you're going to be controlling on the screen. I'm going to just go with 3 for right now. And all I got to do is push the red button. And it asks us now what tribes are going to be playing. We're going to do what they said in the manual. We'll do the Aedui and the Esqui. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing those. And now you can go around the board, and here's what another thing that makes this game so amazing. This is a scrolling strategy game. The only other game that does this was Eastern Front 1941. So this is using the same engine Chris Crawford had before. But you can see down here, there's units that are going to be represented by, oh, those are the barbarians in blue. And then I get a little, yeah, there we go. There we are. So Caesar's here, represented by the eagle. And then there's my 2 other units of cavalry. Because I said only 3 units. So I'll be controlling these 3, and there's the barbarians that'll be coming after me. Look at that huge map. Because we still play games, well, at least some of the ones by SSI. They're on one screen, and they're usually hex-based map. This one is a scrolling map for a strategy game. All right, we're ready. Push start. Here we go. All right, now you can hear the troops marching. And this is the other thing that makes this game unique. Where are they? Oh, they're over here, right? I have, wait, is it 2 sets? Oh, yeah, we do have. The cavalry is up there, and then the other units are down here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll head down to those guys. So you take your units, and you hold down. Now, they're moving in real time. So while I'm trying to explain the game on the live show, the units are all moving at us. It's extremely unique. There is not any other game that can give you this experience right now of scrolling around a battlefield for a tactical game and having it real time. There's nothing that can recreate this. There's nothing close to this. Unless you want to say Eastern Front 1941, but that wasn't real time. All right, so ready? You hold down the red button, and then I want Libanus to go down, and you see all I'm doing is moving the joystick which direction I want him to go, and then whenever I finish with the orders, I let off, and now he moves. So the cavalry's going. Let's go. Again, move the second unit down, and I can't do diagonals. If I try, yeah, it says no diagonal movements allowed, so we'll move that one there. Let off, finish the command. It's still crazy, though, that this is the units are marching, and they added the sound effect to really hit home that, hey, you need to do something and get going because the computer is not going to stop. So cool. So it executes those commands. It's moving my units in real time, and then whenever I want to, even in mid-command, I can just say, wait, we're going to go over here, switch it up. Let's go meet him on that side. Get Caesar ready as well. He's still coming down the end, and cavalry's coming. And they have the march continues. Yeah, they're already coming in. We got units down at the bottom, and then the cavalry, yeah, they're a lot faster. Yeah, these are already marching over, and then they told us in the manual the blue is what's supposed to be like rivers, and then the mountains are the different colors. So if it has a darker color, those are harder to cross. Then the green, they'd be considered like hills. And then, of course, we have the little trees, which look very much like the Magnavox Odyssey 2 trees. All right, go. You can see he's already moving. I'm probably going to miss that flank there. Move this side and there and go. And get Caesar in there. He's falling behind. It also shows you down below Caesar's men and swords that are available. And he's the only one that's melee or the only one that's on foot. And then the cavalry, you can see if I hover over, they'll say how many men and swords. They got 2,000 each. Oh, but they're already coming in from the top. Cavalry's coming down on us right now. And you can keep track of what's happening. Of my men, looks good. Let's go here. Got it. Very nice. So cavalry's doing all right. How we doing? Oh, yeah, they're doing good. Can't do diagonal movement, so let's go and get the last one. I'll get Caesar to keep going. It already feels way different than any other strategy game we've played, honestly, because of how fast it is. A lot of the information I got for the show tonight came from the Wargaming Scribe. I'm going to include links down below of how you break down the game and actually play for a long period of time. It is truly fascinating. It also isn't, like when you think of it as modern games, this isn't the most balanced or well done title. And even Chris Crawford admitted so after the fact. But at this point in 1982, considering everything else we've seen, this one feels like a breath of fresh air. This is amazing. Whenever we played Eastern Front 1941, I gave it 5 stars because the interface. I'm not having to do anything on the keyboard. This is all done with pointing and selecting things on the screen. It's ahead of its time. Yes, it is real-time strategy. The only other time we can compare anything close to this was something like Cytron Masters that we've seen back in last month. And then there's another game that was one of the first ever to use any real-time strategy. It was called Centurion in 1981. But this one's combining the real-time strategy with the interface of Eastern Front. Oh, I gotta pay attention because I might be... Let's go in for that one, and then let's pinch this in. Because now that the cavalry's here, I gotta get Caesar in the fray. Let's go, we can take him out. The cavalry's gonna be the tough one. The score at the top, I only have a score of 3. This is a very low scoring game up here. Look, there you go, it's got a score of 5. I went up by 1 point. Yeah, there are keyboard commands, but there's not a ton of keyboard commands when you consider a lot of the games we play here on the show. They get extremely complicated. All right, ready, go. And we'll have this one go up. I want you to come. All right, we're doing all right. And I'm monitoring my units because every time I hover over, I got 1,500 there. Okay, looking good. And you need to go pinch that one in, and I think we got it. We might have the victory. We made it pretty simple, starting off with only 2 barbarian tribes, and we're only controlling 3 of the units. So this game can be much larger, and you can play it different ways. Finish him. Yes, we win. And if you want to play again, you can. Change it up. Man, so Legionnaire, there's a quick taste of what it is, but you can understand how incredible this game is. Now, Eastern Front 1941, we gave 5 stars when we saw it in 1981. This one's still an incredible title. I don't want to say it's one of the best, though, because the real-time strategy element is almost ahead of its time, because whenever you play with more units and it has more calculations that it needs to do, the balancing in the game just isn't there yet. So, I mean, it's incredible. I still call this one of the best games you could play on a home computer, but I don't want to go as high as Eastern Front. It is up there. I'm going to still say 4.5 stars of all the games to play. It also has to be your cup of tea. Is a strategy game what you would want to play? But this was like cream of the crop. This is still really good. I'm seeing 4.5. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 4 from Curtis, 4 from Errol, 4.5 from Charlie. Yeah, lots of really good ratings out there. I still got to give it props. I'm going to go 4.5 stars of all the games you could play right now on a home computer. Very well done, and looking forward to whatever else we're going to get next from Chris Crawford. And that's a good point. This is Avalon Hill. It's amazing that this is probably the best Avalon Hill game I think we played on the show so far. Most likely because of Chris Crawford. Well done. All right, let's see what our next game is. We're still on the Atari home computer. This is Locomotion. Locomotion, not to be confused with what we already saw in the arcades by Sega and Konami. All we have is a few screenshots, a pretty rare one. Let's pop it and play Locomotion. This is by Bill Bogenreef, published by Software Street. I'm not familiar with Software Street. And we're still in September 1982. We saw the arcade one in April 1982, and this one is completely different. Oh, there you go. Designer Software. Maybe Software Street was what the first name was called, and then later Designer Software. So we're going to see other releases by them. All right, do we have any options? Oh, we just go. Push start. We're in. There you go. Oh, there we go. It's Centipede. But instead of shooting a centipede, now we're shooting a train. It looks the part, too. We've shot so many different things that move like Centipede and act like Centipede. Haven't seen a train yet, though. And it changes the color. Very nice. Who is at the bottom? They got rid of the scorpion? And I don't know what... Was that like a telemarketer with flyers? What? He's trying to sell us something. Quick, shoot him. I gotta tell you, it's really close to what we've already seen with the official Centipede. The game looks and plays really close. Wow. We still haven't seen Centipede come to the Atari VCS. Or like in the commercial by Atari home computers. Only Atari computers has Centipede, and it's true, the official one, but we've already played tons and tons. Yeah, using the joystick though, man, it feels alright. Done really well. I would say even more simple than Centipede. Feels like I'm missing something, and I don't know why there's a guy running at us with a flyer in his hand. Is anyone getting Centipede fatigue yet? At this point, we played 22 games that are like Centipede, and I'm not just talking a fixed shooter or a game like Space Invaders. No, I'm talking we have played 22 games that are like this. Design and look and play like Centipede. Oh, nice. You shoot the quote-unquote snail in this one, or whatever that was, a llama, then he plays a little tune for you. Cool. Yeah, so it's Centipede, all right. Locomotion. See if I can shoot. No, I missed the llama again. Wow. That's right. Where's the track? If we're shooting a train, it's derailed. It has no track. So very quaint title, but yeah, it's pretty good. But we've already played lots of other games like Centipede. I'd start this at maybe 3 stars for everything so far. Maybe it was an antelope. Yeah, it's ticking all the marks though for a great Centipede game. So there's Locomotion. Of all the games you could be playing on a home computer, it's still fairly average. I mean, if you didn't have Centipede, the official one, this would do great. Locomotion would still play really well and work really well. I'm starting the bid at 3 stars. Anybody with me, or does anyone want to go lower and say no? We played too many Centipedes thus far. Bardo Man's going 3.5. Charlie's 3.5. Yeah, it's a lot of Centipede games, much better, unique ones too, changing things up, because this Centipede is still, it has the train that goes up and down, but all of the artwork and everything you shoot still pretty much there. Yeah, I'd still say about average. It's well done, but it's still just pretty much average for everything we've seen so far. So 3 stars for Locomotion. Check it out if you want even more Centipede in your life. All right, let's see. Our next game is going to be after Activision, our sponsor for tonight.
Megamania by Activision for the Atari 2600. And this is what critics are saying about it. Winner, most humorous home game,
Critics.
4 stars. Relentless action.
I saw
Megamania's
Arnie
enemy
Katz in
objects
there.
just won't let up. Hamburgers, cookies, bugs, radial tires, diamonds, steam irons, bow ties, and dice. Faster and faster they come again. It's merciless, demanding, hard, rough, tough, and hairy. Again and again from different directions come hamburgers, cookies, bugs, radial tires, diamonds, steam irons, bow ties, and dice. Insistent, persistent, exact.
He sounds like the Micro Machine guy.
This is no ordinary mania. This is Megamania. Another hit by Steve Cartwright.
Another hit by Steve Cartwright.
Activision presents Megamania, a new
Megamania.
Atari video computer system.
I think I'm having mania already. They're playing on the Atari VCS. How awesome is that? Oh man, it's awesome.
Megamania is a video nightmare because it's impossible to stop. Designed by Steve Cartwright for Activision.
I love how they give the credit to Steve Cartwright in 2 commercials. That's awesome. So this is Megamania on the Atari VCS. Another one that we've seen plenty of times in magazines, and here it is, in the palm of our hand, by Activision. The latest Activision release. It has the Activision Rainbow, sci-fi all over the place. Very, very nice. Flip it over on the back. It is the Space Nightmare, and it has Steve Cartwright on the back. Very cool. with, I believe this is the European back of the box because it has the different languages. I'll take it. What else do we have for Megamania? Oh yeah, we got the grungy and then cleaned up box. And as you would have seen in magazines at the time, the Space Nightmare. Not sure what that means, but I know we're going to be shooting a lot of stuff. Yes, right? The attack is so terrifying, you might call it the worst thing you've ever seen on television. Oh, man. And here you go. This is the international cartridge. And I believe we have, yeah, there we go. In stores, Megamania was all over the place. It was a really big one by Activision. This is one that I had myself on the Atari. Played it quite a bit. And I did learn how to stop. Here on the show, I don't know what's going to happen. This is the patch, like most Activision games, they have a contest, and if you do well enough and send in your high score, you can be a Megamaniac and get a patch like this. Or get a shirt. I'm a Megamaniac. Thanks, Activision. That's awesome. So here's the original cart by Activision with the blue label. This is the one that I remember having with the Space Nightmare down below. Very nice. And then there's a reconstructed one, which I don't believe this is in a real cartridge. Did anyone have a cartridge that looked like this with this color? Let me know. So how do we play Megamania? If you think Megamania is just another space game, you're dreaming. It really is just another space game. And a dream that will become a nightmare. So prepare yourself for another unreal experience you'll ever encounter. Read these instructions, just like Activision says. Read the instructions. You'll control a fleet of mobile blasters at the bottom of the screen under constant attack by wave after wave of outrageous objects. Your goal is to accumulate points. Points? Really, what are those? Knocking out as many enemy objects as possible before your fleet is destroyed. Tells you how to start the game. Difficulty switch to B to begin, and then you can do game 1 or game 3 to do guided or straight missiles, or game 2 where you take turns, bear in mind, and then you can do guided or straight missiles. So it essentially only has 4 game options. And the guided or straight missiles is similar to what we saw in Demon Attack a few episodes back. Demon Attack allowed you to shoot, and with the joystick you can guide the missiles in different places. So it shows you how to hold the joystick, get the red button in the upper left position, upper left, don't forget that, and then get the difficulty switch to B. When you begin the game with 3 blasters in reserve, or 3 lives, and then scoring. Oh yeah, hamburgers, cookies, bugs, radial tires, diamonds, steam irons, bow ties, and space dice. It's just wacky, crazy shooting. This is not new for us on the channel. We've seen let's shoot other things besides a space sci-fi theme. I'm looking at used sneakers. That was a really good one. Mark Turmel and a few others on home computers. On the console, though, it's not as many quaint shooters that change it from sci-fi to something else. And then we also get bonus points for different things. And then here's an example of the screenshot showing you the space dice, your mobile blaster. They don't really need to show you what things are on this screenshot. I can make out and understand what it is. Where's the score? Got it. And reserve fleet, understand it, right? There's the energy bar. It indicates expenditure of energy. Very similar to Threshold, which we've also seen ported to the Atari VCS. You have to keep using your blaster. If you destroyed all objects and the 8 enemy waves you're just beginning, all 8 waves will return for a rematch. So you do it all over again. And then each enemy object travels in an orbital path. So everything that's going across the screen continues to go all over the place. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're going to see Plaque Attack later. Or I don't know what you mean. What is Plaque Attack? To learn how to play the game successfully, develop a sense of rhythm and anticipation. And we will. There's the tips. Very nice. Thank you. And if you want to join the Megamaniacs, you got to reach a score of 45,000 points or more. Then you can get that patch that we saw before. And there he is, Steve Cartwright, the senior designer of Activision. His first release was Barnstorming, which we've already played on the show. Thanks, Steve. Excited to play. All right. So other versions, this is released also in PAL regions. And we also have another one by CCE. And then a hack Mystery Science Theater 2600 done with Megamania. Very nice. Let's pop in and play Megamania by Activision. Steve Cartwright in the beginning of September 1982. Megamania. So if we switch up the game styles, if I go to game 2 and do 2 players, we're going to take turns anyway. If I go to game 3, then I'm just going to be able to shoot straight up, and it's not as fun. So I'm just going to stick with game number 1 and reset. Here we go. I think we're going to need this one. There we go. Now we're in. Plays a little bit like Space Invaders, you know, with things coming down at you, but I really gotta give a nod to all the games we played already on home computers that took a turn like from Sneakers, where it's different objects you're going to shoot, but you're still down at the bottom of the screen shooting everything on top. Get in there before the energy bar goes out. Uh-oh, they're coming down already too fast. Yep, not gonna happen. I thought with Demon Attack would have had enough practice now for their patterns, because when they switch back and forth, that's really where you get in the groove, knowing where they are and what's going to happen next to shoot them. Or if you get shot. Felt like I got beamed up by Scotty. The bottom of the screen, though, obviously is the Starship Enterprise. One more. Come here, buddy. Awesome. This one's the constant one, so when they don't switch back and forth, it's a little bit easier. The big sell from this one, though, is the different enemy types. And you saw in the manual, there's several that you can come across. It does a little bit, Curtis, yeah. It has that same feel. I would say Astro Blaster even felt more or closer to Space Invaders. This one feels like the evolution just past that. Whenever we were playing in 1979 on the show, we got lots of the slow evolution of shooters, seeing little nuances change up in the arcades from the different developers. And then the curved shots or guided shots make it a lot easier to hit your targets. And I can only shoot one at a time. And there is no excessive fire mode. I can push the red button as fast as I want. It's not going to really do much. If I can make a hole, I might be alright. No, they're going to come out from the top again. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's already bringing stuff back of how much I like to play the game, because the play control is very well done. At this point, though, Demon Attack I would still say is king, a better title to play. But the way this responds and how quick the gameplay is still great. Megamania. Nice. And this, you have to continue. You have to get these guys down, because if they get to the bottom of the screen, then you are dead. Oh, and if you obviously get hit by a shot, then you're gonna die. There we go. 13,000 points. So if I'm going to get to 45,000, it's not going to happen tonight, but you can see how it would work. Going from object to object, different enemy types. Now we got a different pattern to memorize from the other ones. This one feels even closer to Space Invaders, actually. Oh, what are you guys doing? They're letting the energy meter just run out. So the energy meter doesn't work like it does with the titles where your shot determines your energy. This one is just based on time, basically. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if it's console only, I would give it a higher rating too. So I already got 3.5 to 4 from Curtis. Yes, that's right. I only need a few more points. 4 stars of all the games on a home console from Ubicore. So there's Megamania. We've already played plenty of other shooters on home console. And some of the big ones that are out there, besides the lower level, like straight up Space Invaders ones, is a Galaxian on the Astrocade that we saw in 1981. Very, very well done. And then the bigger one was Communist Mutants from Space that we just saw with the Supercharger on your Atari VCS. And then, of course, you get games like Cosmic Arc, but they don't play exactly like this, like Space Invaders. So for Megamania, I would still say around the average, a little bit higher than the average range because of how well it is. Charlie Chuck's going 4.5. I'm seeing 4 from Victor. Scruffy Lookin's going 3.5 stars. So when I think of all the shooters we could play, Megamania is good, but I actually wouldn't give it a 4-star. We played some better shooters on home consoles that respond and play and are more fun with more variety than Megamania. This one also has lower options and variations that it could be. Oh, there you go, Victor. All right, so there's Megamania. Let's see what our next title is. We're in the arcade playing a Mermaid. I have never heard of Mermaid. Let's check it out together. This doesn't even look real. Someone had to have made this one up. Mermaid is this? There is the real one. In Japan, now you become the champion of yacht racing. Why not make a challenge to round the world race with the Mermaid? Can you put up with various kinds of fear during the trip through the 7 oceans? Be careful of your sailing at night. Now sail with the currents or winds. Can you come in the goal first? I don't know. Can I? Can I come in the goal? And then you flip it over the back and it shows you go from port to port. Using the control lever, you go with the currents or winds, you can go much faster. Push the sail button to turn your sails toward the wind. If it begins to blow, be careful of seagulls. Oh no, we got birds to avoid. And then we're going to be making our way across the globe. All right. That's insane. This is by Sanritsu Electronics. Not the first one we've seen. There's the arcade PCB. And for controls, we're going to have an 8-way joystick to move around and 1 button, which allows us to steer. And then there needs to be a Kraken in here, right? All right, let's go to the arcade and play some Mermaid by Sanritsu Dinky, published by Rock Ola when it came to North America, and then we're playing in Japan first here in September of 1982. All right, so I want to see what the attract mode has. It gives us a whole picture of the world and Mermaid. Mermaid must be the name of our sailboat. Yes, Mermaid sets sail, so the attract mode is already taken off. Okay, so it's playing the game. Let's go ahead and put a coin in. And put another one in. Oh yeah, now you can do 2 players. A 2-player sailing racing game? But it's not what you think. It means you're going to take turns. So we're just going to start. Let's go. Nice. Oh, bizarre controls. Obviously the screen scrolling by itself to the top, but let me explain how this works. Anytime you want to go the opposite direction, like right now as my sailboat, I can travel to the right, but I can't go back to the left. The joystick doesn't work to the left. I have to push the only button to switch the wind, if you will, and then it allows me to go only left. So now I can only go to the left, but I can't go back to the right until I push the button again to go back to the right. So you have to continue to, instead of moving left and right like you would freely, you have to push a button to move left and right. To tell you the truth, it feels a little clunky. I guess they're trying to simulate sailing. Oh, I can speed up. Let's go up to the top. There we go. Yeah, let's get this going faster. Oh, and here comes the slipstream. Whoa. Nice. Oh, and it plays a little tune. Make it through, get the points in between the buoys. Very nice. Okay, our slipstream's done. And we keep going to the top of the screen. Now we have fire. Where's the fire coming from? Maybe we're sailing near Hawaii. Uh-oh. Okay, we didn't make it through the inside there. Can we get stuck? Let's see. No, I didn't get stuck there. Very nice. We get a constant song while we're playing the game, and we're seeing more and more arcade games do that. How weird, though, is this, though? It's a racing game. We reach the goal, but you can't play with someone else. You can't race with someone else. You only race by yourself. That's a little strange. So now we're on the next stage. They've added, I think it's wind that's flying at us. Still very fun. It would be a good time to play this in the arcades. I still would enjoy this. Oh, we're in the dark. Wait, what just happened? Slow down. What? No way! They're doing the lighting effect like I can't see. Okay, so I see some rocks over here. I guess that's supposed to be a lighthouse. Nice. And just avoid the rocks. I'm slowing us down so we don't go as fast. How about that? Pretty cool. Let's see if we can crank this up. Faster, faster. And whenever you get a good slipstream, the game speeds up for you. Or the music changes. No. And when you bump into something, there you go. Overboard. Whoa, cool. We got sharks. You gotta get to your boat. Quick, get on the boat. How do you get on? No. Oh, we didn't get an animation being eaten by sharks. But nice touch. I think there was an obstruction in the way because I could only touch the sail and it didn't let me get on the boat without touching the bottom of the boat. I guess the sail doesn't count. Awesome. Let's see if these stop me. No, yeah, they slow me down a little bit. There you go. You reach the goal and you move on. Really nice, fun. Mermaid reaches the goal. Good luck to your next trial. Final standing. We get bonus points too. Yeah, I think the charm comes from the music that plays. Oh man, nice. We got a maze-style game now. So we played a game called River Patrol in 1981, and it was a boat only, or a motorboat. This is essentially River Patrol, but you take away the motorboat, and now you have a sailboat. Oh, we got game over. I wanted to crash and then get back on top and see if I could, before the sharks get me. And then there's another thing we played back in July of 1982 called Swimmer. And this reminds you of Swimmer. Very charming, very quaint. Okay, wait. Oh, so if you crash, it doesn't count. Also, notice that it continued. We're now in the same place where we left off. So the same trial. So we can pay to win. We can just keep going and see more of the levels. Oh, man. Yeah, it's tricky. Because you have to hit that button to turn to the other side. Yeah, Swimmer was a lot of fun. All right, here we go. Let's go on this side. I need to slow down. Oh, and the wind blows you into the walls and you crash. So you have to watch out for that too. But it's okay because if you got enough money, we can take over where we left off. I got to remember to mark that you can continue. It's another big deal with arcade games. First one we saw was Fantasy by S&K, and more arcade games are allowing you to put a coin in and take over where you left off. Because if the game has different things to see, it's a great feature. Put a coin in, you can keep seeing that level that you're on. Okay, looking good. 800, this is very treacherous. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I got through that. Wow, I'll take it. Alright, let's take the slipstream, see if we can do it. Alright, at first I felt a little bit clunky, but to tell you the truth, I like this one a little bit better than Swimmer. Swimmer was slightly slower paced. This one feels like I got a little more control over the sailboat, or the mechanics. But one of the things that made Swimmer really fun is picking up the different fruit in each level. Uh-oh. Here it is. Get to the boat. Oh, he knocked me really far. Quick, get on! No, why isn't he getting on the boat? Did they count that, or I guess they didn't count that one. Darn. There you go. Curtis has already thrown out 3.5 to 4 stars of all arcade games you can be playing right now. Oh, I gotta avoid... What are those? Seals? Still gotta use your imagination, even in the arcades, I guess. No way. I don't think they can go back. I think they can only go up. So I can fake them out. And we got a polar bear here. Nice. It's starting to get icy. We made it to the end. Cool. This should be the goal. Awesome. Once again, another arcade game that proves more and more levels make you want to play more, because that's exactly what I want to do. Awesome. Oh, Bartom has gone 4 at least of all the games you could play. There you go. So that's Mermaid. Lots and lots of fun. Another arcade game that you can just keep playing if you got enough money, or see the whole game if you have enough money. All these eventually do loop after so many rounds, but man, oh man, we're going to have to start calculating the number of levels, or like we've been doing on home computers with the number of screens shown. Mermaid is pretty fun. Of all the games you can play right now, there's something unique with this. This game, it has sailing in it, and there's not really a lot of sailing games that are out there. We played Micro Sailing in August 1982, and Micro Sailing was one of the first, if not the first game that had a sailboat in it. And this might be the second of all video games that has a sailboat in it. It's awesome. Yeah, Charlie's going easy 4, Errol's 3.5. I'm saying this better than Swimmer, more fun. Swimmer had the levels, picking up fruit, but this one actually is changing the landscape. So I want to see what the next place is. It looks like we're going to the Arctic next, so I love it. So there you go, 4 stars of all the arcade games you can play right now. Mermaid's awesome. Victor's throwing 3.75. Too cool. Still a lot of fun in the arcade. Well, that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause. Tune in next episode where we have the very first port of 2049er. That's it for today, and like I always say, I will find the video game you enjoy. I guarantee it. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you next time.